something you must be very familiar with, and this topic is on the significance of your study. Okay, so in this very brief chat, we want to discuss how to write your significance of the study. If you're a project student or postgraduate level, it is important you know the components of your research project as per what they mean. Okay, so it is very important you know those components. Now on this channel, we have been discussing a lot about research project writing recently. We started our live chat, our live videos recently, where we started talking about research project writing, different components of research project writing. We have talked about the statement of problem. We have given a first chat to that. We have talked about the background of the study. We have talked about the aim and objectives of your study. So we've discussed preliminary we've had preliminary discussions on each of these topics I've just mentioned, these subtopics I've just mentioned. We are still in the chapter 1 of your research project. Okay, so remember, the research project comprises typically 5 chapters, and the chapter 1 is usually your introduction. And under the introduction, so far on this channel, you can look at those videos after this live stream. You can look at those videos in our YouTube channel on the background of your study, the aim and objective of your study, the statement of problem. You can look at those videos to understand where we are. Okay, now in today's video, the focus shall be to discuss, you and I, to discuss what the significance of your study means. Okay, so if you are joining, thank you very much. For those of you who will be watching this video after now, we are also saying a very big thank you to you. Please click the subscription button below and make sure you turn on your notification bell. So you're welcome to this live chat for those of you watching us live right now. Now, there are 2 things I'm going to be telling you in this video on the significance of your study. Truth be told, I usually would start with saying it is a problem to so many students. Why I'm saying it is a problem, I went through before getting my PhD in statistics. I went through several research project writing processes. Okay, so I wrote an undergraduate project, I wrote an MSc research project, that is a thesis, and I also wrote a PhD thesis. So I know what it means to write a project. Okay, now I have actually been consulted by so many students on how to go about writing their various research projects from different fields, and it is part of my experience I am sharing to you live on this channel. Now, so I actually feel your pain. If you are going through a project in writing your research, then you possibly are just like me. So once upon a time, I was just like you, and that is the reason why I am sharing my experience on this channel. So many students, I can tell you, do not really know how to go about writing a research project. So on this channel, we are going to go through that pain with you. We are going to show you and tell you so many things. So on statement of the problem, on aim and objectives of the study, on background of your study, we have put there a first chart on our thumbnail, meaning that this, all we have discussed previously, won't be the first discussion or the only discussion on all this subject matter. Okay, so what I am telling you in essence is that on statement of the problem, we are going to revisit that topic. We will still revisit that topic on this channel. On aim and objectives, we are also going to repeat or revisit that topic. On background of the study, we are also going to revisit that topic. Okay, so this is what I want us to do. We are going to start straight away with discussing the significance of your study. Now, you may have gone through your research up to a certain point. You may have passed this point we are discussing, but not knowing what you actually did. Some of you actually consult people to look at your research project for you, to guide you on how to write it. That's what I mean. Now, so you may have written the significance of your study already, but you don't even know that there is a structure to writing your significance of the study. So this video will help you address that matter. If you have written your significance of the study already, but have not presented finally in your defense, your work, it just may be time to look at your significance of the study again to see if it actually follows what pattern we are going to be discussing here. Okay, now having a pattern to your significance of the study will really help you a great deal. Okay, so let's see the 3 things I'm going to be telling you. I want to talk about 2 things, but it is important I tell you 3 things. Number 1, let's start with what the significance of your study is. What is the significance of a research? What is the significance of the study? Where is it found in your research project? Where should it be found in your research project? Where also, why should you be talking about the significance of the study in the very first instance? Why is it necessary to incorporate it into your work? Now, let us start with this. Let us start with where you find or should find the significance of your study in your research project. Again, I'm going to tell you, your significance of the study is a component of your chapter 1, meaning that it is a subtopic of your chapter 1. And what is your chapter 1 in your research project? It is the introduction. So the significance of the study is a component of your introductory chapter, the chapter 1, and it is necessary that it stays there. I'm going to tell you why. Now, just like the aim and objective of your study, just like the background of your study, just like the statement of problem, just like those three things we've discussed previously: the aim and objective of your study, the background of your study, your statement of problem. The significance of the study is also found in your chapter 1. It is also a subtopic that should be found in your chapter 1. So that answers the question, Doctor, please, where can I find the significance of my study? Where can I locate or put my significance of the study in my work? So I'm telling you, it should be put in your chapter 1. Because the reason why this is so is because the significance of the study is a part and parcel of what you introduce your work to us as. Okay? So to us, your would-be reader, that is if you'll be publishing your work subsequently on the internet, then it is necessary for us as your would-be reader to know why you actually to know the relevance of your work, so to say. So the significance of your study, to answer the very first question, where should your significance be found in your work? It should be found in your chapter 1. To answer the second question, why should it be in my chapter 1? It is simply because the significance of the study is part of your introduction to us, your would-be reader, on the relevant car. Sorry for that interruption. Let's assume that you want to tell us about a car you want to buy. Okay? You want to market a car to us, a particular type of car to us. Now, in the course of explaining things we need to know about the car, there will come a time in our discussion, in the course of your marketing, where you would have to tell us of what use the car will be to us. So that brings me to the next question. Why is the significance of study relevant in a research project? I am saying it is relevant to a research project, or relevant in a research project writing process, simply because it is that component of your introduction, that component of your chapter 1, that makes us know how relevant the work will be to us as individuals, your would-be readers, how relevant it will be to knowledge, to science in general, that is to society. How relevant will it be? How relevant will it be to different groups, okay, of people? Now, it is under your significance of the study you tell us how relevant your work is, and that justifies your work subsequently. So your significance of the study, if you ask me the question, Doctor, why does my work really need a significance of the study? You should incorporate. Some people downplay the relevance of the significance of the study as a component of the chapter 1. I don't downplay it, okay? It is necessary you incorporate into your chapter 1 a significance of the study. Why is that so? The significance of the study put in your work is what tells us, as your would-be readers, that this work I am writing or this research I am performing or carrying out is relevant to society and shouldn't be downplayed. It is relevant to society. It is relevant to a particular group of persons. It is relevant to academics. It is relevant to individuals. That is where you tell us to whom your work will be relevant. Now, another thing you tell us why it is necessary also to put your significance of the study. Another thing you tell us is why it should be relevant to these people you've mentioned. So if you say your significance of the study is relevant to A, B, C, and D, it is also in your significance of the study as a component of your chapter 1 that you tell us why it is relevant to these people. Okay? And that brings me to the last and final thing I want to say in this video. Now, if you are watching me live, welcome once again. If you are going to watch this video subsequently, I'm also saying welcome and thank you very much for joining us. Okay? for watching this live stream. Now, what are we discussing? We are discussing significance of the study, the significance of your study. If you are writing a research project all over the world at any level, undergraduate or postgraduate, take note, you would come to a point in your work where you have to incorporate the significance of your study. Now, I started my discussion with telling you what the significance, where the significance of the study should be found in your work. So if you've located the significance of your study somewhere different from where it should be, then please put it where it should be. The significance of your study is a component of your chapter 1, being the introductory chapter of your work. So it should be in your chapter 1, possibly after your statement of problem. The significance of study should come in there. That is where it should be in your work. So that is the first thing you stand to learn from this video. The second thing we've talked about is what does significance of the study, why is significance of the study relevant to your work, okay? And I'm saying that significance of the study is relevant to your work in the sense that it will tell us to whom your work will be relevant and why it will be relevant to them. So if there are 4 or 5 groups of people or 4 or 5 groups to whom your work will be relevant, you should also tell us why it will be relevant to them, okay? That is what we mean by significance of the, that is how important the significance of your study is to your work. Now, what is significance of the study? We can't be having a live chat on significance of your study when we don't even know what it is. So, significance of the study is that component of your research project found in the chapter 1 that tells us why your work is relevant, why your work is useful. Okay? And in other words, it ends up justifying the work. If a work is not useful, then the relevance of that work is 0. That work is not even, it should not even be in the first place. You shouldn't be carrying out a research that is not useful. The essence of carrying out a research is to help or make life better, okay? Better for a group of people, better for individuals, better for society. So you can't be writing a research project that is irrelevant to society, irrelevant to a body, irrelevant to individuals. You can't be writing such a research. So it is in your work, your chapter 1, that you tell us your significance of the study. Meaning that it is in your chapter 1 you tell us to whom your work will be relevant, to what group of people it will be relevant, to what individuals will it be relevant, to what aspect of academics will your work be relevant. And it is also there you also accompany that those statements you've made about to whom it will be relevant with why it will be relevant to them. Okay? Now, to make my last statement, which I was supposed to make earlier on before I did a recap, please take notes. The last thing I want to tell you in this video is this. There is a structure to writing the significance of the study in your work. There is a structure. Now, why it is important to make students know this is because most students usually will just write in any manner. Please, you don't just write in any manner. And I keep emphasizing it, that research project writing is a technical writing process. In research project, you don't just write anything anyhow in any place. You don't just put things anyhow in your work. You endeavor to follow a pattern. You endeavor to follow a structure, okay? Follow a structure and it will guide you properly in writing the significance of your study. Now, what structure should you follow? You can follow a structure like this. Take note, in your significance of the study, if you want to write it, then you must know 2 things. What should you know? The 2 things you should know that will help you get a pattern to your significance of the study are: number 1, you must know that in writing your significance of the study, 1 paragraph of that component of your work should tell us to whom your work will be relevant. Okay? Now, the second paragraph should also tell us why it will be relevant to those people. So let me give you an example. Let me end this video with giving you an example. Let's say that in putting up your significance of the study, you want to write on a topic such as what do you call it? The overtime effect, the effect of let's say a syndrome or a symptom X on several variables or 2-3 variables X, Y, and okay. Let's say you want to write on the impact or the influence of a symptom, a disease symptom X on let's say A, Z, and A, Y, and Z. Okay, let's put it that way. So let's assume that is a topic you want to research on. Now, somewhere in that work comes your significance of the study. And what we expect you to tell us, based on this topic I've just mentioned, what I have just given you as a topic, as an example or an illustration, is this. we expect you to tell us under the significance of your work. That is talking about the pattern you should follow now. Let's say you have 2 paragraphs dedicated to the significance of the study in your work. Now, in the first paragraph, we expect you to tell us that this study will be relevant to individuals in that field. Let's say you are writing that topic in let's say a medical field. Okay, let's say you are writing in pharmacy, you are writing in medical sciences, or any paramedic at all. Take note. You should be telling us to whom that work will be relevant. So you could start your paragraph with saying that this work will be relevant to individuals exhibiting this symptom. It will be relevant to what do you call a specialist in that area. Okay, because through your work they would gain knowledge on what they never knew based on your investigation. It will be relevant to society, and of course it will be relevant to government. So what have I done in that case? In putting up my research significance of the study, I have structured it in such a way that the first paragraph is dedicated to telling my would-be reader what to what group of persons the work will be relevant. So I have said it will be relevant. This work is significant based on it is significant based on the fact that it will be relevant to people exhibiting the symptoms already. The symptom you are talking about that has an impact on those 3 variables I mentioned. It will be relevant to specialists in that field. Of course, especially in that field, maybe nurses, it may be pharmacists, it may be medical scientists, it could be medical doctors, so to say. Now, it will also be relevant to the government, because they would have to step in to ensure that certain measures are put in place to avert subsequent increase in the number of persons exhibiting such symptoms in society. Now, you could also mention there that it will be relevant to academics, because through your work people will gain knowledge, okay, in that field. If your work is published, people in that field will gain knowledge on more things to be said about that work, okay. Now, take note. In the second paragraph of a research project such as this, it is important you now start telling us why it will be relevant to, if you mention it will be relevant in the first paragraph to individuals showing that symptom, you would mention in the second paragraph why it will be relevant to those people. You will structure it in a sentence there in the second paragraph why it will be relevant to those exhibiting the symptoms already. You would mention it in the second paragraph using, of course, using words that show cohesion, okay, or coherence rather, why it will be relevant to those specialists in the field. You would mention also in the second paragraph why it will be relevant to government. You would mention also in the second paragraph why it will be relevant to academics. Okay, so when structuring your significance of the study, endeavor to make us know the structure. So when one who looks at your work and sees that there is a structure in the setup of your significance of the study would enjoy reading that work, would gain more reading that work than he or she would gain if there was no structure. So it is very important that the significance of the study has a structure, and the structure to follow is tell us in 2 paragraphs what your work, why your work is useful, and in doing that, tell us in the first paragraph to whom it will be useful, or to what group of persons it will be useful, to what aspect it will be used, in what aspect it will be useful, okay? And then in the second paragraph, explain why it will be useful to those people you've mentioned. So summarily, we have said our topic for today's discussion is significance of your study, okay? Where is significance of your study found? It is found in the chapter 1 of your work, the chapter 1, which is the introductory chapter. Number 2, we have also answered the question, why is it necessary to incorporate significance of the study in your work? It is very necessary because significance of your study explains to us how useful your work is to society, how useful your work is to different bodies, how useful your work is to academics, how useful your work is to individuals, okay? And you cannot write a research project that is not relevant or useful. So it is inside that part of your work, you tell us why your work is useful. Number 3, we have also answered the question, we've answered the question on structure. Your significance of the study should have a structure. And what structure can you use in writing the significance of your study? You can use a structure that contains 2 paragraphs, or that has 2 paragraphs. The first being one that tells us about to whom your work will be relevant, and the second being one that explains why it will be relevant, to whom it will be relevant. Okay? Then another thing we've talked about that makes a 4th component of this discussion is the fact that significance of the study is very, very important because it justifies your work. Okay, it justifies your work. So that being said, please, I want to say a very big thank you to all of you who have joined us live in this discussion. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you. Please tell a friend about our chat, tell a friend about our channel. Make sure they subscribe to the channel to get the numerous benefits on research project writing they stand to gain. Okay, so tell a friend, tell someone today about GER Hub and our classes online on research project writing on this channel. Okay, every 8 p.m. on this channel we talk about research project writing, segments of research project writing. So in today's discussion we have just talked about writing the significance of your study, what you need to know. Okay, now please, subsequently, if you have a question to ask us, you can drop it in the comment section below. Please, you can do that. Make sure you drop a like on this video. It is very important. Drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification button, and endeavor to tell a friend or someone about this channel and what he or she stands to benefit, and get them to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for staying tuned. If you are going to watch this video subsequently after now, thank you very much. Also, make sure you drop a like on the video, and if you have any question to ask us on this particular topic or anything that concerns research project writing, endeavor to put it in the comment section below. Thank you very much, and God bless you.